What are nerds up to? What's going on with nerds? What happened? Are they okay?
Yes, I am. I'm actually. That was the deal I made with Fernandez.
No,
I'm also
actually, no,
just the same way you didn't know. The same way you didn't know that I was the head of development at one point.
I am a nerd. I love comic books. I love movies. Obviously, I love music. Who doesn't love music? My favorite thing when people are like, "Oh, what kind of music you listen to?" It's like, "Oh, a little bit of everything." It's like, "All right, what's your favorite polka band?" So I'm a nerd, big old nerd. Nothing wrong with it. I think society has accepted nerds probably too well, honestly. Be sure to like, be sure to comment, be sure to subscribe. Long gone are the days of media portraying excitable, plucky dorks saving the day by overcoming some form of vague autism allegory.
Ain't she a beaut?
I bet you could talk to New York on this thing.
Think bigger.
California?
Bigger.
Australia? Oh.
As a self-proclaimed nerd where I literally talk about my fandoms on YouTube, it's been painful to watch my demographic become toxic and destructive over the years. To not only other people's interests, but even their own. It's said that people who hate Star Wars the most are Star Wars fans.
You guys killed the Sonic series! All you frickin' fan freaks and your frickin' fantasies spewed out at you by frickin' Paul Merchant!
So, like, nerds are they just on their fandoms, and that drives me up a wall a little too hard. Obviously, like, if there's like a critique that you have, it's like, hey, listen, this could be better in this way or what have you. For the most part, like, I will see them like vehemently and like viciously attack something that they should have loved. Like the new Superman movie that just came out, like, I saw people just going after it, and it's like, do you love Superman or do you not? Like, what are you a fan of? Like, if you are, then what are we doing here? Like, again, obviously there's criticisms to be made, like James Gunn's an imperfect person or what have you, but like, whatever. If you like a thing, try to like the thing, and if you don't like the thing, just ignore the thing. Being that like nerds are like notoriously known to be socially inept, which like I 100% am, if you have two people who don't understand social cues communicating about a thing that they're both passionate about going opposite directions, it's almost like two parking meters came to life and started attacking each other. It's just like, what the is that?
Hold on. This is my favorite.
I think that nerds have always been like a little like uppity and, you know, spastic. In the past, when nerds were on in movies or what have you, they were always presented in a very stereotypical kind of way, and now that's not the case. It's almost as if everyone is now considered a nerd.
Those are nerds. I don't know what they are.
What the f are those things?
I mean, everyone I know is a nerd. Every single one of my friends is a nerd. I have my video game nerds, book nerds, movie nerds. Like, as long as you have a fandom and a love of something, like, you're a nerd. That's just all it is.
Look at him. He's trying. He's actually trying. What a nerd.
Like, my dad, he's a sports nerd. It's a weird thing to say. You think people with sports, like, are very jocular, but, like, really, if you think about it, it's just, like, you're just throwing stats and numbers at one another. It's like, you know, it's kind of, that's nerdy. Come on. It's more socially acceptable. People go to stadiums or what have you, but, like, I don't know. It's like me looking at Superman lifting a building and just being like, yeah! It's like, I can't do that, but, like, I appreciate when I see him do it. As a brief rundown to the history of what nerds are, the term started in the 1950s with the Dr. Seuss book, If I Ran the Zoo, but the term wasn't introduced to the American lexicon until its use in the 1970s hit show, Happy Days.
I'm back, hey, just in time. And I found the new winner of the nerd contest.
It then became a staple of the language in the hit movie Revenge of the Nerds.
Ogre!
Nerds! Where are they? I think they're talking about us.
As a general concept, a nerd is basically someone who's enthusiastic about something niche. Though, for decades, stereotypical nerds were the butt of the joke. Sheepish, amiable, and more or less pushovers. So what happened? How did we get here? In short, the internet.
You got my homework finished, McFly?
Well, actually, I figured since it wasn't due till Monday.
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think, McFly.
In the past, if somebody had an obscure interest, they'd have to subscribe to a magazine that was curated and refined by like-minded individuals. They would, more times than not, have a sense of pride and professionalism to package this content. Comic books, board games, video games, indie movies, what have you. Anything outside the mainstream consciousness was deemed counterculture, and only a select few individuals were privy to this information. I personally believe that humanity was more psychologically prepared for the invention of the atomic bomb than the internet. An explosion that could kill the entire world is more easily comprehended than a phone that's connected to the entire world. In the past few decades, normal people have all become self-induced public figures, and the protective shield of anonymity has been stripped away. The once insulated nerdy tastemakers of yesteryear no longer hold the keys to the media kingdom. Although I can see an argument to be made about maturing audience palates, I believe there is more at play here. So let's talk about it. Before the internet, when media was curated by corporations and governing bodies, most, if not all, of the rough edges were hidden behind closed doors. Now that anyone and everyone can create content, new light is being shed on the more unsavory things less seen. This extends to subject matters outside the realm of media, but this is a movie review channel. Go talk to your trusted elders for guidance in literally any other subject. I won't talk to you about the birds and the bees. In fact, I still have no idea what that means. Now that everyone is like creating content online, the curation of like nerd fandoms has just been stripped away. That barrier that we used to have for media consumption is just, it has evaporated. And that's because of the internet. That's not good or bad. It's just, you know, the people on the precipice of technology have always been nerds, you know, computer nerds trying to, you know, get to the edge of technology. So like they're kind of the trailblazers of tech. People getting together in large groups is a double-edged sword. Like, on one hand, it's like, you should have a community, you should communicate with one another. But on the other hand, it's just like, there's certain topics we shouldn't have communities for. We shouldn't have that. These things should go away. Like, if you don't like a thing, voice your opinion, move on. Like, my thing is, I hate movie review critics. Decades before the internet, a nerd's interest was hidden in secret. Fantasy books, albums, and video games were stored in dingy, dark basements, away from the judgmental eyes of society. So the superhero movie boom at the beginning of this century came as a surprise to many people, especially comic book nerds. You would think that this expansion to the genre would have invited people into the fandom of tights and fights, but nerds didn't see it that way. Years of reading, collecting, and dedication came to a head in this cultural crescendo as a defining moment in American pop culture. Although nerds perceived themselves to be historians of the American mythos, the general public at large did not. Even with the expansive knowledge of the media, comic book nerds weren't elevated to the point of shaman they self-righteously believed themselves to be. They were ridiculed for their interest in their youth, their interest became mainstream, and they saw no reward for being ahead of the curve, which most likely created resentment. The vindication should have been the fact that your thing is now big. That's the vindication of like, hey, listen, all of your time, you're now ahead of the curve. You can tell your friends who the Winter Soldier is. I was at one of the Winter Soldier. It was Winter Soldier. I saw Winter Soldier, and like I spoiled the movie by accident because I was like, I thought everyone knew who the Winter Soldier was. I'm in line. I have people hear me. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, but like that's what it was. I thought you knew. Like, I didn't want to spoil it. Like, I actually felt really bad, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm a little bit better than you guys. It's like, hey, I know more things.
The Thing. Is this dork made of orange rock like the rest of his body?
To piggyback on that idea, nerd industries have shrunk, most notoriously being the American comic books industry, with manga taking its place. I personally have a friend who owns a comic shop from the 90s and now takes most of his sales from Jeep t-shirts. The once relevant counterculture staple has dwindled to a husk of its former self, leaving people with smaller and smaller fandom communities while the world continuously expands, the once rebellious counterculture being exterminated for a more hip and relevant substitute. That is out of like people's control. Like American comic book, the industry, there's multiple factors at play here. One, Marvel is owned by Disney, and Disney makes it nearly impossible for third-party vendors to sell their comic books. You have to buy comic books directly from Disney now. There's no community now, and also the writing is just not as good as it once was. People who are now writing like proper material, it's all in manga. So DC apparently is doing okay, you know, but the thing is their writing is just not what it was. Like, I don't know why, but I guess they can't find the writer. If you want to write a comic book, like, you do not have to go to the staple comic industry. You just make one, put it online, and then hopefully it goes viral. Unless you have a dying need to write for Batman or Superman or Spider-Man, like, you don't need to do that. And then you fight tooth and nail to get there, and then once you get there, it's like, I'm sure there's a whole political game for it. I just know that the indie route is way more open and available than ever before. While most hobbies and interests could plausibly become a source of income should your talent or knowledge merit it, nerd culture is a societal mutation that didn't offer people many options to profit in the past. Until now! Thank you, Internet! We appreciate it. But here's the thing. If you like something and have nothing of substance to say about it, why would people listen? For most people, it's difficult to make something common in your life seem exciting. People need more in order to consume content. People need drama. People need suspense. The easiest way to get people to engage with you is to motivate them to anger. People don't want to watch you gush over your favorite thing. They want to see you rage and thrash and tell them their anger is just as justified as yours. Misery loves company, and people want to feel connected.
This is the impossible game or some bull, and they're right. It's definitely impossible.
Outside of the previously mentioned points, there's also the obvious, entitlement. Nerds love their fandoms and can assimilate them wholesale into their personalities, but this love can border on obsession. If someone loves something, they'll defend it with a fiery malice only a mama bear could. So if a nerd believes an outside threat could potentially harm the legacy of their favorite fandom, it's obvious they defend it. And let's be honest, can anyone blame them?
It's kind of sad that we have to tear it down. That's the thing about movies. I'm always like, really? We built this amazing thing and now we have to tear it down?
Obviously, there are things where your fandom happens and you're like, okay, I don't think this is the right way to go. Like, they do it with Star Wars, they do it with like a whole bunch of stuff. And to my Star Wars fans out there, like, comment, and subscribe. I got you. We are one and the same. And it also depends on the demographic that this fandom attracts. So, like, I have never met a horror fan, somebody who likes horror, that wasn't the nicest person in the world. It's just, for some reason, that demographic of people are just, like, the nicest, most pleasant, positive-minded people. It's so odd. Heavy metal is another one. Like, heavy metal people. I've never met a heavy metal person that's just, like, not the sweetest person in the world. There are fandoms out there that are just, like, absolutely toxic. I will be honest, like, I'm putting my foot down right now. Star Wars fans, I genuinely think a lot of them are really, really toxic. Because they believe that the fandom is theirs. And here's the thing, they're not wrong. They're not. It's just, like, every article of Star Wars content that is produced, I can put on one hand the amount of things that Star Wars people seem to like about Star Wars. The original trilogy, cool. They like The Mandalorian, they like Andor, and everything else they just on it. It's like the prequels, the sequels, this show, that show. Like, you just can't make them happy. To the point where, like, they bullied their own creator of George Lucas out of his own franchise. That is so George Lucas even said in an interview, he was like, this felt like a divorce. And, like, the photo of him shaking Bob Iger's hand for the Star Wars franchise, it looked like there was a gun to his head. It was, like, actually one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Well, and here's the thing about George Lucas, like, for the most part, he's not a good director. He's barely a good storyteller. Like, he just happened to, like, catch lightning in a bottle. Like, his wife was the reason that Star Wars made it as big as it did because, like, of her editing techniques. Because as we've seen with the prequels stuff, his storytelling attempts are just incoherent. She made the original trilogy, like, perfect. But on set, the only direction he would give the actors is louder and more intense. That's it. But him, like, in interviews and stuff, he's just very soft-spoken. It seems like a very kindly man. And it just sucks that his fandom, like, bullied him out of it.
Yep. You're that psycho babysitter.
He killed that kid, didn't he?
Yep.
Killed a kid and two to buy some.
The guy who made Halloween Ends, he made it so that the bullies in that movie were nerds. They were band nerds, band geeks. And, like, I was like, oh, that's an interesting take. Like, is he just putting it on his head? And he's like, no, because, like, he thought the people in high school that were the biggest, like, bullies to him were actually, like, the drama club. I'm like, oh, interesting. Because I could see that. I remember in high school, I don't remember jocks being, like, terrible at all.
Look at the nerd.
Who you calling a nerd, man?
I'm sorry, what?
As it is now, I'm not sure that the nerdy genie goes back in its bottle. And the lovable dweebs we used to watching media are now a target of criticism. To all of you fellow nerds out there, chill out. Love your thing and just be cool. Otherwise, I will literally fight you. Like, comment, subscribe. And thanks for watching. Enjoy your thing. Enjoy the things you like to enjoy. Comment down below. Tell me what is the worst, most toxic fandom. Because I'll be honest, I'm going after them. You can talk about the criticisms you have of things, but be a good person. And if you don't, I will fight you.